Hello plastic model builders, this is Ari Stone with Plastic Model Builder, and this is part 2 of the F-14D Tomcat in 1/48 scale by Tamiya. We are going to be painting all our wheel well parts, which you see me doing right now, assembling those parts along with putting the cockpit onto them. We're going to put that into the forward fuselage and as well assemble portions of the main fuselage with the wheel wells and as well the intakes and things like that. So right here, these are the air lifters. They split the air, they go inside of this aircraft. We painted those. You got right here the wheel wells, things like that. All sorts of fun stuff that we are going to be doing. It is model making madness, so we're going to make it look pretty. I'm just kind of getting rid of the white paint that I have, just doing various parts that I know will get painted white that we need to use. So you see right there portions of the air lifter, parts of the wheel well right there in the rear. Those are on the actual fuselage. The other portions where you see the gaps there, we have to assemble those, and that's some of the things that we're doing right now. So this is going to be some model making madness, making things look pretty. We have the interior here. We are painting that for the cockpit. It goes black. Both sides of the forward fuselage do this, so just paint it accordingly with how the instructions tell you to do it. Will go together very nicely. This is a wonderful kit. I do recommend it. This right here will sit on top of the fuselage right there. Little detail painting that will need to be done. So right here we are painting some of these details. I got a little round tool here which I used with the paint. I liked it for certain applications. It worked there. Here I'm using a brush just going along there to paint some of these actuators. This is for the front wheel well, and as well so is this piece right here. Got little dots that we're doing right here. This sits on top of the cockpit, and then you will see the cockpit through there. So got some little detail that we're going on here. This is the front wheel well. You see me painting that. A couple more things on there that need painted in various areas. Got some tubing and things like that. So we will paint those. Once we get all that stuff painted, we can start assembling the front wheel well. See all the little detail right there? Don't mind that black stuff. I spilled paint. Now I'm patching it up, and that's okay. If you dirty up your wheel well with weathering, you won't even really notice it. So just a bit more of the detail painting right here. So now we are going to assemble all these parts. Right here we're going to put this actuator in place. Goes just like that. Then we have this right here. That actuator goes right there. So this is part of that wheel well. This is the side portion of it. Can't mess these up the way they go in place. Tommy did a good job. Make sure you can only put it in one way. That is the front landing gear, a portion of that. It attaches just like that, and then you attach that actuator to it. Make sure it's all glued down. Get it from the sides as well and the underside. And put each front and back on this. So you see how that goes right there. Push it into place, glue it down. Once that is in place and glued down, just like you see here, we can do the opposite side. Fits on top of it, a little bit different than the front of that. And that is how that goes. We're going to attach the cockpit now. Just fits in just like that, very simple. Make sure your glue dries. Once that is dry, we can assemble the front cockpit. This right here is for the refueling probe. You can put that on, and then you can choose to have your refueling probe opened or closed. Comes with two different panels for that, and you see it right there. This is the gun. Paint that round portion right there, and here's the spot that it goes inside of the fuselage right there. That is on the left side of the fuselage. You see that right there? We are going to put in this cockpit now. You see it in all its wonderful glory. This is more model making madness and making things look pretty. So once we got that in place, add glue to the other portions. I did it first to just the cockpit area. Once that's attached, as you see me doing here, make sure it's secure, and then we are going to glue everything else that you see there. We also have some stickers and panels to attach, so keep watching so you can see me do that. And this is how this gets glued together. I do it in sections, that way the glue dries and sets up, hold it a little bit, and then put it together. You see how that goes right there. Now right there, that is a panel that goes on there. Glue that in place. Everything looks absolutely wonderful. So here's the sticker I'm talking about. Just goes right over there. Probably for a different version, for the D version. Wouldn't do it for the others. So here we have this, which is the framework for that canopy. And the, not really the framework for the canopy, but the framework for the cockpit. The canopy goes over that. Depends on if you want the canopy up or down. You see how that glues down just like that. Perfect fit. Does great things. Just using that tool there just to make sure everything is pressed down fine. And that's the cockpit frame in there. So now we have that piece that goes over everything. Make sure that is glued down properly. We're going to assemble and screw down the sweep wing features. You see you got those little things that get glued down right there. Put the sweep wings in, one over the other. See how they go like that. Make sure they line up perfectly like that. You have little washers and 2 screws to hold down those sweep features. Then it gets a cap on top of that. So once these are all screwed down, we will get those caps and put it on top. So that was the right side. This is the left right here. Or in reverse, this is the right and the left. So you see how that will make that motion. So here's the top for that. Screw that down, just has regular screws. Don't over tighten them because they are going into plastic. The instructions tell you which ones go where. Like I said, it's a wonderful kit to assemble. It's done really well by Tamiya. You see it's just 4 screws, very simple. And that is how that goes. We have holes to drill right here depending on which version you're going to do. That is for the missile pylons for the Phoenix missiles. So here's for the air splitters. Put these actuators in place, just like that. Each one of them gets that actuator, just like so. Go on very easily. Put on a couple of other pieces right here. These are for the rear landing gear. It's just easy to get those on sooner than later. So those are on right now. You can see the detail in that gear. So this is for the splitter. You have your top portion of that. This goes on the inside of the plane, and you'll be able to see that from the outside looking in. So you don't have to get everything painted. And you see how this is attached, just like that. Make sure it's all glued down and secure. That's the underside of the plane, so you see what it looks like right like that, and you can see through it perfectly. Okay, so we are going to assemble and attach the rear wheel wells. They are in 4 pieces. You see how I'm doing this here? A couple different ways to do it. I held one with the tweezers, made it a little easier. Glue those down just like that. You do need to make sure that they fit into place. They go right here. So you see it's a little loose, but just bend those pieces before they actually dry. You shouldn't have any trouble with that. We're going to put on the top portion of this as well. I shouldn't say the top portion, I should say that right there. That side of the wheel well goes in, fits very easily. Repeat this process with the other side. Same thing, assemble them and put them in place. And it's hard to mess these up because they only go one way with each piece. You don't really need directions for them. However, directions will be handy. So you see how that looks there. Again, put that side plate on. And there you go. So those are the wheel wells. And once you sit the other wheel well on top, that's how it will look. So that right there gets a poly cap. I dropped the poly cap, not once, but 15 other times. It goes inside of there, and you glue that down. They are also labeled left and right. More poly cap mistakes. Model making madness, making things look pretty. That's what happens when you do this. So we are going to attach the rear and top of the fuselage. That's the very rear of it right there. Goes on. Then we are going to attach the bottom. You see how that goes? Looks wonderful, just like that. That is the top and the rear portion of it. Got all the little areas here that I'm using tube glue. Why am I using tube glue? Extra bonding strength. That way my plane doesn't come apart. This ensures that. You can use regular thin cement if you like, be my guest. This is how I did my airplane because it is mine. I can do it my way. So this is how it goes together. We see all the wonderful tube glue that I am using. That's the bottom portion going on to the rear and the top. Fits perfectly in place. As you can see there, the plane is really starting to come together now, which is an additional wonderful bonus as well. Thank you for watching my channel. We always do live chats on video premieres, so watch with me. I enjoy talking to people. You see how well this goes together. We're even going to put the front on here. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like, especially if you enjoy watching my channel. As always, thank you for watching, and until next time, see ya.